Hi, I'm William. I'm here with your nutrition tip. You may find yourself gaining some unwanted weight during this stay-at-home time. You are not alone. Please don't add more stress by being hard on yourself for the weight gain. Let's try to understand what's happening and why the kitchen may be calling your name. Recent research points to a possible link between loneliness and hunger. With feelings being linked to survival drives, it would be easy for a crosswire to pop up. Feeling lonely and missing that connection to others and finding yourself in that pantry with those chips. So, what should you do? Let's talk to registered dietitian Deanne Hamilton to learn some time-tested ideas to help you cope and hopefully come out of this thing healthier instead of heavier. Deanne, thank you so much for being here today and giving us some tips on nutrition. Now, tell us a little bit about what can we do to become more aware about the different food choices that we make?
Okay, well, William, I'm happy to be here today. One of the things that we need to do is to track what's going on. I was reading an article by a dietitian up in Maine, and she said in the beginning of all this, people were kind of bringing home food, comfort foods, and trying to make themselves feel a little bit better. But now they're ready to try and get back on track and be a little bit healthier. So now's the perfect time to start tracking your food intake. And you could track using an app, using a piece of paper, you know, whatever's going to make it easier for you. And you want to track not just what you're eating, but you also want to track the time of day, your feelings, where you are when you're eating. All that kind of information will help you become more aware of what's helping you and what might be hindering you in staying on track with your goals.
Okay, wonderful. Now, I've heard about tracking your food in the apps, but you mentioned feelings. That's different. I haven't really heard of that. Can you tell us what factor does that play into your food tracking?
Quite a bit. So what people notice when they're tracking their food and they're tracking their feelings is that there may be some cross wires. We've got some survival drives. You were talking about that before. We've got some survival drives for safety, for food, for connection to other people. So what could happen is that you are missing that connection to other people because you have to stay home and you don't have your friends. And so you start to, I feel lonely, so I connect to food. I feel afraid a little bit, so I go try and calm myself with some food. I feel tired because I'm not getting as much rest. I'm worrying about things. I go to food. So trying to uncross those wires and say, well, how do I really feel? And what do I really need? What's going to take care of that for me? Okay,
so that's very interesting. So probably when I'm tired and it's late at night and I want to do what I call folks fourth meal, I'm really tired and I probably shouldn't eat those extra calories. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
How do I really feel? Do I really feel hungry?
Yeah.
And if I'm not hungry, what do I really need? So if I'm lonely, maybe I need to just reach out to a friend, do a Zoom call, do whatever it is that you can do now to feel a little bit more connected to a person and not to chips.
Not to chips, okay. I'm going to try and disconnect from the chips, all right? That's what we're going to try and do, folks.
Yes.
Now, earlier you were telling me something about environment, and nutrition and environment is important and keeping it clean. Now, my mom always told me to keep my room clean, but I didn't know what the connection would be with my food. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Not exactly the same as cleaning your room.
Not the same? Okay.
No. But you want to be aware, again, we'll go back to awareness of what is in your environment. So if I'm walking into the house and I see a bag of chips, I'm likely to dig into the bag of chips. It triggers you to think, oh, I might be hungry. And also what is in my environment that may be supporting my goals? Like, are my exercise shoes near the front door? Do I have fresh fruit in the refrigerator that's all cleaned and I don't have to worry about it? Do I have, my portion control of whatever? It's not that you can't have chips, but did I get them out of a bag and put them in little portion control bags so that it's less likely that I'll eat half the bag?
Those are great tips. I'm definitely going to try a couple of those. But if you do need to keep that room clean, I would still suggest that. Now, one last question for you. I'm used to doing routines, exercise routines, all of those types of things, but I never got into a nutrition routine. How does that play a factor into staying healthier with nutrition?
Well, being aware of what your
Okay.
routines are. So you've got some good routines, you said, as far as exercise is concerned.
Yes.
And there are, during this time, I've actually heard of some really good routines that have kind of come back. Like you're hearing about families that are actually getting back to eating dinner together. And you're hearing about people going out for walks, social distancing, but going out for walks together. So you're getting into some routines that you might want to carry forward as we start to move out of this. And what support do I need in order to be able to do that, so that I can keep the healthy things going and maybe change some routines that might not be so good for me. Am I sitting in front of a screen and nibbling on food?
Right.
Where do I need to go if I'm going to do my TV watching or my screen watching so I'm not so tempted to eat? So what routines are helping? What routines might be hindering?
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Deanne, for those tips. And folks at home, we want to know what you're doing.
Yes.
Comment here and let us know what tips you're going to take with you in order to improve your nutrition. Because we want to come out of this thing healthier instead of heavier. That's what we're shooting for. So visit ymcarichmond.org and stay healthy in spirit, mind, and body, and learn more about the different nutrition tips that we have. I'm William, and this is Deanne, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye.